Well, I'm back, and I'm going to actually talk about the topic I wanted to talk about yesterday, but I did the video on alligator Auschwitz instead. So I'm a big proponent of education. Growing up, my mother, who was an immigrant, stressed that education is the key to a better life. My mother came to America, joined, went to college, was in the military, was in the nursing field. So even my father, who was a steam fitter, pushed education on us as kids. He was always telling us, you need to go to college so you can do the jobs that you want to do, not the jobs I had to do. In fact, my father made me work construction jobs in the summer growing up. His friend had a construction company where I would do construction work. I remember his exact reason was, I want you to do these jobs so you know what you don't want to do when you get older. And then for a while in the summers, I did some HVAC work where I was a helper, installing air conditioners and heating and whatnot. And I'll tell you, going into those attics in the Northern Virginia, DC heat and humidity, you definitely don't want to do that all your life. And I'm not knocking those jobs. Those jobs are important. We need people with those skills. So please don't take that as me saying those are bad jobs. Those are good jobs, and we need them. So what happened the other day? Well, before I tell you what happened, let's talk about how our leaders here in Indiana see education, higher education, because this is really a two-part video. Technically, I can make a video on what we're doing here with K through 12 education, which is just as bad in my opinion. So let's start with some of the things our governor and lieutenant governor, other Republican leaders in the House Indiana chamber have said. Mike Braun has criticized, he said, higher education institutions broadly pay only lip service to workforce needs, implying they lack real commitment. Spoke of institutions needing to prove necessity of expenses, suggesting wasteful spending in areas like unnecessary buildings. Unnecessary buildings, Mike Braun had us, taxpayers, pay for a helipad at his home. He's a millionaire. He could afford, if he wanted a helipad that badly, he could have paid for it. But he had us taxpayers pay for it. So let's talk about unnecessary buildings. He's removed alumni elected IU trustees and filled seats with gubernatorial appointments, stating IU needed a board to produce better results, aligning governance with state priorities. He appointed Sage Steele, who was an ESPN reporter who got let go because of the things she said. I don't want to get into everything she said. There were some vaccine things, and I believe some things she said about Obama. I don't have those notes in front of me, so I don't want to say something and be wrong. But he picked her because she was an IU grad, and she's really big in the right-wing movement. So there's that. Now, let's talk about Lieutenant Governor Beckwith, things he said. In 2024 November, Beckwith attacked Indiana Daily Student, IU student newspaper, accusing it of producing woke propaganda and called IU indoctrination centers, labeling them a complete joke and waste of money. He even threatened action against the publication. And if you've noticed, Republicans like to throw this word woke around. They don't know what it means. They just throw it around, and let me see what else. They everything's propaganda to them when it comes to education. Why? I don't know. Are they scared that we learn more, and when you learn more, you're open to more things, and you can see things from a different angle that you couldn't see before? He defends traditional Judeo-Christian values against what he sees as institutional liberal bias in higher education. Just because you go somewhere else and they have different views than you have does not mean they have a bias against your views. I mean, if I told you I believe the sky is green, and I go to a university and they tell me, no, the sky is blue, and here's why it's blue. The light reflects off the atmosphere, the blue light's what's get absorbed, all the other rays, spectrums get bounced back. So it's blue. Oh no, you're thinking different than me, and I see it as green, and it's got to be, your ideology is different than me, and what did I say it was? It's you're biased towards what I believe in higher education. That just because you believe something doesn't mean it's right. Especially when science can prove otherwise. His posture towards DEI initiatives and campus culture aligns with anti-woke rhetoric. These are college kids. They're exploring things. They're open to more things. They're interested in listening to other viewpoints than what they just heard all their life before. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, God forbid the founding fathers would be woke to these people because they revolted against the king and everything that the king stood for because they wanted the Declaration of Independence would have been considered woke. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men are created equal. You know, back then people believed the king was the supreme leader of the world, and he was the king because God granted him that power. So I don't know if that was woke. Then these people would have been the Tories. Sorry, that's a little revolutionary. What do you call it? Language. Oh shoot! I have my news still on. Didn't even realize that. So some other things that politicians have said. We have J.D. Prescott, state rep. He criticized woke campus question funding. Larissa Sweet, state rep, defunded the Kinsey Institute, or helped defund it. Suzanne Crouch, our old lieutenant governor, skepticism of university spending. Mike Young, state senator, cost criticism, oversight advocate. Mike Bohasek, state senator, supported cuts in performance funding. Chris Jeter, state rep, supported limiting divisive concepts. What is a divisive concept? What are they thinking that's divisive? I went to college. I have my master's. My wife has her PhD. I enjoyed learning different viewpoints in college. It was fun. I don't know. I didn't find anything divisive when I went to college. Greg Taylor, a Democrat, he's defended academic freedom, which is what university is about. You make discoveries because you have the freedom to explore, to do things. So I believe education is something that's great. And I have two kids, and I hope they do go to college. And I've been talking to them about that as they're getting. My daughter's 13, my son is 11, and both of them plan to go to college, and I hope they do. My son is in 5th grade, entering 6th. He's on 8th grade math. He loves math, and he's like, I want to go to Purdue, Dad, or I want to go to MIT. My daughter is on a roll, and she wants to go to, I believe, IU or Butler. So I want my kids to do this. I want my kids to go have a better life than I did, and education is the way to do it. So they're eliminating, I want to say 406 degrees or realigning in IU, all the state schools. So I'm looking at the list, and I have it here, and I'll put a link up to where you can get the list because it's a couple pages long. But I'll tell you some programs they're eliminating. And let's start with IU Bloomington, chemistry, eliminating the program. Oh, these are all BS in education. So these are teachers. These are people who are going to college to learn how to be teachers. And we have a shortage of teachers in Indiana, I believe, because they're always talking about it. So these are degrees right here. I'm going to name some of them that people are going to be the future educators, and they're eliminating them. So these are all BS in ed: chemistry, English, general science, earth, space science, journalism, mathematics, physics, social studies. Those are all BS in ed. For these are teachers, okay? Now they're getting also eliminating doctor in public health, IU. Then these are some MAT degrees. These are masters in teaching. You got MAT. So this is for more advanced, more like 9 through 12. Biology, classic studies, Latin, Greek, comparative literature, fine arts, French, geography, German, journalism, political science, are eliminated. So they'll finish if you're in the program already. They'll finish you out, but then after that, the degree is no longer offered at IU. So then there's an MS they're eliminating in anatomy in India and IU, an MS in nursing in IU. We have a shortage of nurses. We've heard that for a while, and if you look at the studies, they're saying we have a shortage of nurses. And we've been fortunate that we've had a lot of immigrants come over, fill those roles, but that's changing too. So in IU, they're also getting rid of a PhD in public policy. I wonder why you want to get rid of that. We need people who understand these things to tell us what's happening. Masters in teaching English speakers. This is a master's in teaching English to speakers of other languages. So when we have people come over here who, even if they're here legally, all right, they're trying to learn. There's that barrier you have with the foreign language. So there's that. So people who can teach that degree is being eliminated. PhD in economics is being eliminated. Master's degree, cardiology, operative dentistry is being eliminated. MS in music therapy. Music therapy is used for disabled veterans, PTSD. It's used for Alzheimer's patients, and they use this currently at the VA, this type of therapy. So we're not going to teach people in Indiana how to do this therapy because there's a VA hospital downtown Indianapolis. MS in taxation is being taken off. I wonder why. People with the degree in taxation would understand the tax policies that are being pointed out and how they're hurting or helping. And what we just got passed is hurting everybody but the upper class. PhD in cellular and integrative physiology is being eliminated. MS in pathology. PhD in pathology. MS in toxicology. PhD in toxicology. And that's just name a few. I'm not going to go there. Again, there's 408. That's a lot. And why they are eliminating these degrees particularly makes no sense to me. And I'm going to play a clip right here of what Carolyn Levitt said today about universities. And it'll explain a lot of why. They don't want our children to be educated. They'll say in the clip that they want us to, the jobs of the future are plumbing, electricians, stuff like that I just said, right? So that's what they're going to say.
And the president is more interested in giving that taxpayer money to trade schools, in programs, in state schools, where they are promoting American values, but most importantly, educating the next generation based on skills that we need in our economy and our society. Apprenticeships, electricians, plumbers. We need more of those in our country and less LGBTQ graduate majors from Harvard University. And that's what this administration's position is. And we also are not going to tolerate the illegal, criminal, anti-Semitic behavior that we saw take place at Harvard and many other college campuses across the country.
But think about it. These politicians, their kids will go to college. I'm going to guarantee you that right now. Their children, none of their children will have those jobs. Their kids will not be HVAC. Their kids will not be electricians. Their kids will not be plumbers. Their kids will not do any of those. Their kids will not work in car factories. Okay? They're not going to. Your kids, my kids, that's what they want them to work in. It's going to be like the Gilded Age, Part 2, where only the rich and wealthy have the luxury to go to college and pursue whatever they want because they have the time and money. And they'll have all of us just working, barely surviving, doing the jobs they don't want to do. That's what it comes down to. Because, like I said, there's nothing wrong with those jobs, but there's only so many we need. How many HVAC technicians do we need? How many plumbers do we need? How many laborers do we need? They don't want their kids to work these jobs. They want us stuck in these jobs and stay there permanently. And they say these are the jobs of the future. Forbes has said that the top demand job skill in the future is AI. Knowing how to use it. And I'll put a link I'll show that up here too. Let me pull it up. I had it and then the page reloaded. And now my thing is acting all up. Let's see. Where is it? it's AI. I have it here. I'll put the screenshot up for it, but it's AI, and skills associated with that. So, and then another thing about college, people who go to college live longer. The average age of a college graduate is 82.1 years. High school graduates is 77.3 years. Okay? That's 5 years, essentially. Then, when we have recessions, people with college degrees fare recessions better. They have their unemployment rates are lower. So people with college degrees already start off with a lower unemployment rate. There's more job security in their jobs. There's more wage stability in their jobs. And when the economy does recover, college graduates have faster recovery. So it's a net benefit. And even when you account for the student loan debt, is when you take college out, you still make more on average over your lifespan with a college degree. So there's a reason why they are attacking education the way they are, and it's not to make things better for you. It's not. Indiana has been controlled by Republicans for 20 plus years, and education is not getting better. It's not. And again, I cannot stress to you enough, they will not let their kids, their grandkids, do these jobs that they're pushing onto us. And I can't say it enough either. These are not bad jobs. Okay, I did HVAC. It's hard work, but I enjoyed it a little bit. It was fun when I was young. I'm 45 now. I do not want to be working in an attic. If I was a plumber, I don't want to be crawling in crawl spaces. These are jobs for young kids, mainly younger people. But as you get older, these jobs become harder to do. They're more taxing on your body. Politicians don't care because their children and their grandchildren won't be working these jobs. They're flat out, they're not going to. I like to quote George Carlin on this one. Remember, it's a big club and we're not in it, okay? We have owners and it's them and the ultra rich. You know, I don't like the word oligarch, but the ultra rich. So again, it's a big club. We ain't in it. I'm going to end it here. I'm going to put the video up for you. I'll have to put it back in the little other place. But remember, we have a voice. Use it.